Hello everyone. For today's do-it-yourself project, we will need a foam gun. You need to unscrew the neck from the gun, which is where the foam canister is attached. Next, take a cable clamp and screw it in place of the neck. Now insert the valve stem from a bicycle tube into this clamp and tighten it with a nut. After that, you need to drill 2 holes in the handle. You need to insert a spring into the drilled holes. The spring is needed so that the trigger is always pressed. When opening or closing the valve, the trigger always returns to its position. Now unscrew the fitting from the tip of the gun and measure its diameter. Next, we will need a plug, which is used in heating radiators. You need to drill a hole in the plug to match the diameter of the fitting from the gun. Insert the fitting into the plug and attach it to the gun. You will also need a fitting that's used for a hose. Part of the fitting needs to be cut off. Next, we need to find a coin that fits into the fitting. I drill a hole in the center of the coin so I can clamp it in a drill and grind it down a bit. Now the coin easily fits into the fitting. We'll also need a brass standoff to attach circuit boards to the case. We'll attach it to the coin, but first we need to drill a through hole in it with a 2 mm drill bit. You also need to drill 10 more holes in the coin with a 2 mm drill bit. Now you can screw the stand into the large hole, NA. Place the coin into the fitting and take the extension, male-female with thread 1-2. You need to wrap a little toe around the external thread. Apply a special paste for this purpose to the thread and screw on the fitting. Now you need to screw all of this onto the nozzle of the foam gun. That's it. You don't need to do anything else with the gun. Next, we'll need 2 glass jars with metal lids. You need to drill 2 holes in the lid, one 8 mm and one 10 mm. Screw a hose fitting into the larger hole. We'll also need a valve stem from a bicycle tube. You need to unscrew the valve core from it and then attach it to the lid. Do the same with the second lid. On one of the lids, you need to insert a small tube into the valve stem and secure it with glue. On the second lid, the tube is inserted into the hose fitting. you need to pour gasoline or solvent into one of the jars and water into the other. Screw the lids on and connect them with a hose as shown in the video. Next, take a car compressor and connect it to the jar with gasoline. Connect the spray gun to the jar with water. To prevent the compressor from running at full power, I connect it through a power regulator. Set the compressor power to minimum and move on to testing this homemade device. As you understood, I showed how to make a gasoline burner out of a foam gun. By adjusting the compressor power, we change the supply of gas and air to the burner. By tightening or loosening the screw on the gun, we change the length of the flame. It's not necessary to use a car compressor, I just didn't have any other one. Any low power one will do, you can even use one from an aquarium. As you can see, the burner works perfectly and anyone can make it. You don't need to solder or weld this. When the burner warms up a bit, the flame starts burning much better. You can improve it even more, you just need to experiment with the nozzle diameter. This burner is very powerful, the flame temperature is over 1000 degrees. With this kind of burner, you can solder or melt different metals. I'm sure that many craftsmen in the garage will find this homemade tool useful. Now if you need to heat something up, you won't have to buy gas. The fuel consumption here is very low, because it's not the gasoline itself that burns, but the gas that forms when the compressor is running. As you can see, this burner also works with copper, and its melting point, I believe, is over 1300 degrees. When the burner heats up, the flame is almost invisible. Look how it burns in the dark. That's the kind of homemade device I ended up with. Did anyone like this video? Give it a like, leave your comments, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.